Hello, this is the Wall 200 here with another controversial video, and this is going to be kind of a proposed solutions to the mass shootings that have been happening pretty frequently lately. Just lately, won't go into too much detail about the persons who did it because the media fucking does that already. We still don't know the victims, which is pretty fucked up. We know everything about the fucking shooter though. I think that's one of the problems with it is the media, and they kind of glorify these people not by purpose, mind you, but because people want to know his motives and all this bullshit about him. But perfectly honest, they shouldn't fucking put that shit out there. They should just put the victims' names out there and don't even mention this fucker or the person who does it, right? And there's a lot of bias within the media, I think, because the previous one in Ohio, I believe, it was found out to be a leftist, and they kind of dropped that whole thing about the Ohio shooter, and they're just focusing pretty much almost 100% on the El Paso shooter, who I don't know if is right winged or not, but I really don't give a shit if they're left wing or right wing. They killed a bunch of people, and instead of focusing on something, a solution, people are blaming a lot of things right now: video games, mental health, um, guns. The list goes on and on. I would like to address some of these issues. Banning guns is not going to fucking solve anything. Um, Harder or more gun laws being put in place is also not going to do anything. Like, what law or gun law would prevent these people from getting these firearms? Like, I can't think of fucking one. You might make it a little bit harder or more difficult to attain one, but that doesn't stop or, I guess, do anything really. And if they couldn't get a gun, there's other ways to do it. I won't go into say any suggestions because I don't want the FBI fucking knocking down my door. Not talking about FBI open up kind of fucking situation. But like, I think the media is really have a fucking problem. Maybe there is some mental health in here that needs to be fucking addressed, and all these underlying issues. But I think media is really fucking just cranking this shit out, and they know it's profitable, right? Like tragedy, money, it makes money. Tragedy just makes money, and you want your headlines to make fucking money. So, I mean, that kind of makes sense. It's kind of fucked up, but this is how the media is. They want to make money, and this is the best way to do it. So I highly doubt they're ever going to change that kind of, I guess, perspective on actually doing these whole mass shootings thing. And there are already proposals to like up the age to trying to attain a gun or buy a gun to 21, because there's a trend of most of these people who commit these kind of crimes are under the age of 21. Now, I have really no issues with increasing the age of, be able to buy a firearm to 21. There's also been proposed like you cannot own a gun if you have some kind of mental or previous mental health issues. I really have actually no problem with that either, because I mean, gun background checks should check whether or not you have some kind of psychological issues. Like, that should be covered within the background checks. Like, I don't see why it's not. And if you have any previous or continuing problems with that, then you should not be sold a gun. I'm pretty much behind that. But there's no really easy solutions or a quick fix to any of this. I don't know why people are blaming Video games, again, this is one of the things that people point their fingers at right away because the guy said something about he wanted to be a Call of Duty fucking super soldier or some bullshit. And here we go with this fucking debate of, violence in video games. And no, there's no fucking correlation between these two. It just keeps on bringing it up every time a shooting. Video games pretty much comes up almost guaranteed every time. And I just don't see it. The fucking studies haven't fucking proven it. So I just don't understand why people just don't actually lay the blame on the actual fucking person who did it. Instead of, no, they focus on whether he's left wing or right wing. They focus on whether he's a fucking nut job. He needs mental health. And I've also heard others want, the insane asylums to come back, the mental health institutes to come back, Now, this actually might actually help. Well, never. I highly doubt these will ever come back because they did some really fucked up shit during the time they were actually around. So, like, opening these kind of facilities up again, I don't see, but you never know. Especially the way, like, the mass shootings are coming up, stuff like that. So, these are just some of the things we can do to help, stem the mass shootings. I don't think they'll ever stop. That's just reality. That's just, I guess, people in general, It's just, the sad reality is I just don't see it ever stopping anytime soon. But with these measures, we don't know if they'll reduce the numbers, but of course we'll never know until we actually do something about it. Doing nothing hurts, and banning all guns hurts. That's none of these two are any kind of solutions whatsoever. So something that doesn't involve banning guns, I'm 100% behind, because it's something definitely needs to be done. 100% agree with that. And that's pretty much all I have to say about the whole situation. Thank you for listening. Rate, comment, and subscribe.